Shalom, welcome back to another lesson. I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And I want to give peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect, wherever you may be, scattered abroad. All right, that's going to include you believers, the men, women, and children, helpers, the prophets, and also you fellow laborers, you teachers and prophets that make their bodies as a living sacrifice. Excuse me. To you I say shalom, wherever you may be located, and may the blessing of election be upon you and your household. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm gonna title this "The Basics" or "Basics 2/3, 1/3." Right? And this is a video I've been meaning to do beforehand, but I think I'm gonna do it today. Then tomorrow, Lord willing, if I don't have anything planned tomorrow, I want to go into a little bit of some history that I found, right, concerning the Israelites that were scattered in Japan. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, we're going to start at Zechariah, the 13th chapter, right? And I'm not going to read the whole thing for the sake of time. As you can see, it's 5:32. I want to do this lesson for like at least 20 minutes and I can head to camp, midweek camp. The Zechariah 13, and I'm going to start at verse 7, and it says here, "Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and his sheep shall be scattered." Okay, the sword is who? The wicked, you know. The sword, the blessing that the Lord, through Isaac, which is Yahushai, right? The blessing that he gave to Esau was the blessing of the sword. Okay, smite the shepherd, and his sheep shall be scattered, and I'll turn my hand upon the little ones. Okay, the little ones represents who? The elect. Verse 8, and it shall come to pass, right, that in all the land, saith the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Okay, so in that particular land is referring to Babylon the Great, right? The land of great future judgment, the land of nuclear destruction. Okay, the Lord is coming to destroy, pursuant to Amos 9, right? All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. The Lord is getting ready to purge, right, the 2/3 of our people here in Babylon the Great, and also to purge out the nations, the heathen, okay? Because the heathen will also be a part of that fire. You can read about that in Isaiah 34, right, where it talks about Edom and all the other nations, and even the wicked of our people being compared to goats, rams, sheep, all these different sacrificial animals, right? Because the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra, okay? That's in the land of Edom. It's in America. And I'll bring the third part through the fire, right? And it will refine them as silver is refined. So the third part, the 1/3, is the elect. And the elect will be purged through that fire because we're going through the fire right now, which are the trials. I hate when I hate when I do that, man. Uh, no big deal. I always close out pages accidentally. Okay, let's go to this. I think it's in Corinthians. Yep, First Corinthians 3 verse 13, and it says, "Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it." Okay, because it shall be revealed by fire. Right. So there are two types of fire that the Lord has set up. There's the fire, the physical fire, and there's the spiritual fire that refines, right? It purges off your old man and refines your inner man day by day. Okay. And the hopeful elect, the ones that believe upon Yahweh Shemi Shai, right? We are the ones who pretty much um are being tried by that spiritual fire. Okay, we are the ones that are going through that spiritual fire now, so that we won't be touched by the physical fire later on. Okay, let me read up verse 12. It says, "Now, if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, right? These are the superior materials. Wood, hay, stubble. These are the inferior materials. You know, these materials don't last when fire touches it. Okay, they burn up quickly, which is a metaphor for those who are in this truth and they ran out of oil, they ran out of gas, and they burned themselves out. They didn't make it unto the end. Okay, Lord willing, we're not a part of that of that number. Okay. Verse 14, if any man's work abide which he has built thereupon, he shall receive a reward, and that reward is deliverance. Verse 15, if any man's work shall be burned, right, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Okay, so regardless, right, um, even if you do suffer loss, even if fruits do leave you, right? Let's say you brought people in and they fell off, right? That's a loss right there, because the fruits that you have did not remain, but you yourself will be saved based on you, abiding, right, in the fear of Yahweh Shai and doing his commandment, doing what he commanded you to do. Okay. So then from there, let's go to Psalms 91. Uh, in fact, let's go to Matthew 24. And let me start at verse 37. But it says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Right? Verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage. Okay? Just like now. Not necessarily marriage, but people are party. Okay? They have a festive spirit. It wasn't too long ago that the pandemic was here and everybody was in a woeful state unto the day that Noah entered into the ark. And Noah now, he represents the elect, okay, because the elect have bid themselves to the marriage. We are entering into the ark of Yahweh Shai, but very soon we're going to have to physically enter into it before that flood of fire come. Verse 39, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, right? So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, right? So just like how it happened back then, these people did not know. They didn't care to listen. They mocked. They scoffed. They said, America shall live forever. That's in Isaiah 47th chapter, I sit up as a queen and I shall not know sorrow, right? Verse 40, then shall two be in the field. The one shall be taken, right? The one shall be taken and the other left, okay? So the ones that is going to be taken is the one who perishes by the sword, the one who dies, the one who gets hit with a missile, but the other one who's left, right? As the scripture says, one third shall be left therein, right? That's the elect. The other that's left will be the elect. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left, okay? So you have the 2/3, the ones that's taken, and then the 1/3, the ones that's left. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doth come. Okay. And it's very hard to guess, right? Because even Yahushua himself, he doesn't know when he's going to appear. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have suffered his house to be broken up. That's why the scripture says, watch ye as well as pray, right? That ye may not enter into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Therefore be you also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man cometh in that hour, right there in an instant, okay? Verse 45, who then is a faithful and a wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season, right? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. And we always pray that Yahweh Shai keeps his spirit upon us, right? Until the very end, because that's the only thing that counts. Let's go to Psalms 91, verse 8. It says, only with thine eyes shall I behold and see the reward of the wicked. And the reason why I brought this out is because this is what the elect will see when they're standing on the chariots, looking through that glass mingled with fire. Let me go ahead and get that. That sea of glass. That's in the book of Revelation. Okay, this is Revelation 15, verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast. Who's the beast? NATO and the EU, right? Really, in its entirety, it's America, because America calls the shots. And over his image, the New World Order, right? They reigned supreme. They kept their faith unto the end, even in the trial of temptation, right? The hour of temptation. And over his mark, the charagma, right? The charagma. And over the number of his name, right? That vibration, okay, of Satan. Stand on the sea of glass, right? Having the harps of the Most High, okay? And they're going to be dressed in fine linen, right? They're going to have their new bodies, and they're going to be praising Yahweh Shem Yahshai for what? For delivering them, right? From the nuclear destruction. Verse 3, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord Yahweh Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Okay? Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou art holy, meaning separate. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. Okay? And that will happen. You know, the scripture says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Yahweh Shai is Lord. Okay? And he's coming down to set up order, as the scripture says, as it is in heaven, right? That's the Lord's Prayer. Okay, so from there, let me go to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. And the reason why I'm bringing this out is because I know somebody will have a question about, right? They'll have a question about the wicked Israelites outside of America, okay? Which is a good question to ask. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But first, before we get that, let's go to Matthew 24, verse 30. And it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, right? All the nations, right? Because they're going to see his glorious appeal, and they're going to know that his arrival marks the downfall of their rulerships. And they shall see the Son of Man come in the clouds, the chariots of heaven, with power and great glory. And then he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. Is there going to be an actual trumpet blaring through the heavens? And he shall gather together his elect, right? The elect of the nation of Israel from the four winds, north, east, south, west, from one end of heaven, right? From the western hemisphere all the way to the eastern hemisphere to the other, okay? The elect will be gathered. It's going to be a simultaneous uh, deliverance, okay? It's going to be a simultaneous deliverance. So from there, let's go to Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. Let's see what's going to happen to those wicked Israelites outside of America. It says, this is in the NLT, right? As surely, this is Ezekiel 20, verse 33. It says, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, I will rule over you with an iron fist, in great anger, and with awesome power. And in anger, I will reach out with my strong hand and powerful arm, and I'll bring you back from the lands where you are scattered. So that powerful arm and that strong hand is Yahweh Shai, right? The right hand of salvation. I'll bring you into the wilderness of the nations, and there I will judge you face to face. And this will happen again. You know, we don't know where the wilderness is. You know, the apostles say it's in South America, but we ultimately don't know. You know, we'll find out truly, right, when Yahushua gets here. Verse 36, I will judge you there just as I did your ancestors in the wilderness after bringing them out of Egypt, says the sovereign Lord. So this tells you that this is talking about a new deliverance, okay? Because it says after bringing them out of Egypt, just as your ancestors in the wilderness after Egypt. So this is a new deliverance. Verse 37, I will examine you carefully and hold you to the terms of the covenant. By what? By replacing our bodies, giving us that heart of flesh and removing that heart of stone. I will purge you of all those who rebel and revolt against me. I will bring them out of the countries where they are in exile, right? Because the nation of Israel is in exile pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. But they will never enter the land of Israel. Then you will know that I am the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay. Now, really, what's going to happen is that the Lord, as the scripture says, right? All my enemies, those that have I would not have reign over them, right? Bring them hither and slay them before me. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about these rebellious Israelites. They will be purged and slaughtered, okay? Because they will not get down with the program of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. They want to continue being heathens. They want to continue living like a heathen. So therefore, they're going to bow down to the slaughter, and they will come back right through the loins of the elect. Okay, that is what's going to happen to the elect and the rebels, to the 1/3 and the 2/3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it off at that. Again, I can't go deeper into the lesson. Lord, this lesson was edifying unto the elect, and until next time, I'm going to say shalom. Abad Babal, shalom.